Alright, so as you all saw this whole year, that luxury has been on a downward spiral to say the least. We have seen their loss in profits, we have seen scandals back and forth popping all over the year, and there's so much news going on from the world of luxury that it's even hard for me to keep up about videos. So I thought making a video myself would probably be a little bit easier for everyone else as well. If you are new here, my name is V. I'm a fashion buyer, but also a fashion student. And if I upload videos every Wednesday at 9 a.m. So if in case that interests you, feel free to subscribe for more. I'll always be here. Starting off with the big notes of the year, however, are the financial reports. And that is literally the luxury LVMH, the owner of brands such as Louis Vuitton, and Christian Dior. They have reported a 22% revenue drop this year in 2025, with fashion and leather goods, not their largest margin, but like their biggest margin, dropping 8% compared to last year. And then following them, their competitor, Cary, who owns brands such as Gucci and Yves Saint Laurent, they have reported a 16% drop in their revenue. And then following that, Gucci, the largest brand that they own, has seen a staggering 26% revenue drop in the first half of the year. Now, the thing with all these brands is that they've built their whole image off being quality, off being heritage, off being house codes, but they're all dropping hilariously due to the numerous shakeups between creative director changes all the time, between the multitude of scandals going on. There is no brand identity anymore, which causes everyone to steer further and further away from these luxury brands. Now, the media problem I can tell you with Gucci, however, is that, and Cary included with them, is that they have a true lack of direction. Within the last 10 years of Gucci, we have seen 10 creative directors, and between all of them, has the customer base truly moved on from Alessandro Michele after Sabato De Sarno took place? I don't personally see it, especially seeing because De Sarno, with him being there, they dropped 20 to 26% in 2024. And then even now, there are drops. When Denma got announced to be taking over De Sarno's role at the brand, they dropped even further at a 16% drop, showing a lack of confidence that people have in Denma, which honestly I wouldn't either, given the fact like we said before, he's a troll. He rage baits in fashion. We saw that at Balenciaga. We'll continue to see it now because it's just what he does is what he's known for. But this all shows the Maison's lack of confidence within not just its creative directors, but also itself and where it can stand personally in the line of the creative director's sphere. But while I may not like Dema personally, we did see his pre-debut looks that he's done for the brand. They all released on their Instagram, and I can say that it is returning to form. It is returning to those house coats that we know Gucci for. And will they keep him for more than 2 seasons? Who knows? But it is not fair that we just don't see profits in 2 years. Fine, let's just shove him out and replace the brand image with somebody else. I will give Denma 4 seasons to truly show his stuff, and if it's still rage baiting trolling, then he gets booted. But if it's not, and if something a little bit more interesting, a little bit more entertaining, a little bit more return to form to elevate Gucci back to where it used to be, under Tom Ford, for example, he could possibly be saying we might be seeing Gucci make a return back into where it should belong at the heights with Louis Vuitton and Dior and Hermes. Speaking about Hermes, the only brand that has seen a true growth this whole year has been Hermes, seeing a 7% bump in their revenue, which they're only known for quality. They're only known for their quality and their heritage. So people are a lot more confident in putting their money towards something that they know will last, that also doesn't have scandals written in them all the time. Going from Hermes over into Consumer Trends, the luxury resale platform, has just released a 2025 resale report, which can help us see where luxury is heading towards. And the biggest thing is that, starting with that, is that 58% of customers prefer shopping through secondhand to begin with. The luxury retail prices are crazy, because I know I prefer going secondhand as well. But the luxury retail prices are chopping off arms and legs to even have a chance at buying them. So I too would lean towards just doing resale to begin with, because it's just easier. Now, we do see that Louis Vuitton has maintained their #1 spot. I'm putting up photos on the screen as well. They maintained their #1 spot of being on the platform, with Speedies being up nearly 110% this year in searches alone, and which shows that they have an iconic product. Yes, of course, the Speedies are amazing. I've mentioned that before. They're iconic. They are a it bag, and they will continue to be an it bag forever. Coach has also seen the largest jump in their searches, going up nearly 160% this year alone. And then we also see a shift from bags and clothes being seen as assets to precious metals being more seen as assets as we go more and more deeper into financial downturns and financial turnarounds to begin with. And with that alone, we've also seen lived in and worn styles seeing mass appeal, with going up 32% in sales. I believe this is mostly sparked by Jane Birkin and that trend of her lived-in Birkin, and Mary-Kate Olsen's Birkin as well, who we have seen it scuffed, we've seen wine stains all over it, we've seen it lived into hell and back, and I've seen videos of people beating their bags on sidewalks just to get the same look rather than truly wearing them in. Meaning it is a trend that will be here to stay, possibly forever, who knows, but it will be here to stay for good. And going in from these trends, the lessons the big brands can learn from this is that the most important lesson of all, hell for anyone in fashion to begin with, is to avoid scandals as much as possible. The biggest problem that we have seen this whole year, from Loewe being put under court for violations of their supply chain, the same with Dior, because of their trending, they produce a book tote for $57 and it resales for 10, 20 times the price of that. Scandals in the workplace and their supply chain is going to crush them all, because when you're buying, because the difference between luxury and fast fashion was that you weren't buying a supply chain violation, you weren't buying exploitation of workers, you were buying the quality of the product. But then if you are constantly in scandals for committing those same violations as fast fashion companies that do, what separates you from people worth less than you? So I know that's why I stopped buying retail price items, because you're not really paying much for the quality of the name anymore. You're paying purely for the name itself, but you are lacking quality versus just reselling and getting something vintage for almost the same price, but in better condition and better quality. The next large option we can see is going to be taken from Coach this year, which is appealing to a wider market. And while I may not have been a long-time Coach customer, I did have a tabby, I have a shoulder bag, I also have the Rowan at one point or another. And the kitschy bags that they've made has been social media popping. Like the reels, the flying bag reels, the kitschy bags such as like the dinosaur bag or a teddy bear bag, those things have been social media perfection, and I see them literally everywhere I go in terms of social media, because they're just so good at appealing to that younger demographic. Coach's main demographic all of last year, over 2/3, was made up of Gen Z and millennials, which shows that taking a risk in your marketing, in your presentation, who you appeal to, can bring you some growth from it. And I feel like Gucci, they've been doing this a lot, where they don't truly have a target demographic anymore, because every creative director who has been in the seat for the last 5 years has had a different image of the customer every single time. We saw the vibe change from Alexander Michele. He just brought Valentina to Gucci. We saw it from Svelta Dosano. And we'll see it from Demna again, with Demna's, based off what we've seen pre-debut, Demna's looks being mostly for that high, elegant, middle-aged customer, I would say, or the aspirational customer. But Coach is mostly Gen Z, Y2K demographics. Taking risks will help any brand grow. So if the big houses take lessons from Coach, from the smaller brands, from Diesel, from D Squared, they can also see the same number of growth, and I could believe that they can return to the spotlight. But for right now, where we're at in luxury, I do consider it dying. I do consider it a dying fad, because there is not much to truly say there is when it comes to supporting these houses. Now, I know this was a long form video. I know this was a little bit different because it is all financial, so it might be a little bit more boring. But I thank you all for sitting through with me today talking about it. And if you want any more videos like this, feel free to comment down below. Comment down your thoughts on what the state of luxury is. Is it worth paying the retail price? Is it worth just reselling it versus not even competing in the luxury game to begin with? Let me know below, and I'll see you on the next one. Have a good one wherever you are.